So I came across this video that I saw here, and it's about a DoorDasher who was angry at the amount of the tip that he received from making his delivery. There are some people who are saying that they have a problem with tipping or tipping too much, or the tipping is going overboard. But we're gonna watch this video, break it down, and give our thoughts.
So listen, this viral video of this tense moment between a DoorDasher and a Texas customer posted on TikTok is bringing up this big debate over tipping culture in the U.S. It has a lot of people feeling a lot of ways. I want you to watch if you haven't seen it. Look.
I just want to say it's a nice house for a $5 tip.
You're welcome.
Ooh, so
what are your thoughts on that? Tipping. Me, I don't have a problem with tipping. I believe it's good to tip. I believe it's good to reward people for their services. People work hard, people give their best, and you want to reward that. I really do believe that it's good to reward people for their great service. It's my opinion. Now, in this situation, it's kind of different. You know, the person got the tip, the person was ungrateful for the tip, and now they went viral for it. But let's continue.
sounds like a little bit of an expletive there from the Dasher, kind of an attitude, $5 tip on a $20 pizza. So that's, a 25% tip. Then in a series of posts, the DoorDash customer who got the exchange on her Ring camera, doorbell camera or whatever, said, how much should I be tipping on a $20 pie? She says she herself has worked in the service industry for more than a decade and tips, in her words, very well. So what happened to the DoorDasher, the driver? A spokesperson for the company confirmed that a worker has been removed from the platform, basically fired, in connection with this, saying that respectfully asking for a tip is acceptable, but abusing or harassing someone is never acceptable. Vicky?
Now, me, I don't want to see people lose their job. No, I don't want to see people go down that route. But, at the same time, we do have to do our job and treat our customers fairly. Like I said in the previous video, customer service is very important. Customer service is vital. Customer service is what's going to keep a business afloat. Good customer service or bad customer service is a representation of who you are. That can leave a bad taste in the customer's mouth, and they may not ever want to shop with you again. It's good to make sure that everyone is on board when it comes to good customer service, because if someone is ruining the name of the company, people are leaving bad reviews, people don't want to do business with you anymore, that's going to affect your bottom line. And that's how these companies start to get in a bad place and start making, changes. And we know what type of changes that I'm speaking of. And also another thing, we can't be so entitled. No one owes us anything. Really. I mean, they already paid for the food. You're getting paid from the company. No one owes us anything. Now, if we put on the right mindset and continue to treat people well, continue to put a smile on our face, even if we don't feel like it, you never know what that's going to do. Somebody might turn around and give you a $20 tip, a $100 tip. Like when you do good things follow. That's something that I like to live by, but that's just me. So let's continue.
Plan joins us now with more on this. And this has struck such a chord, I think, for people, because it's about tipping, but it's also about the gig economy here, right? And the idea of, was this just a one-off thing, maybe an attitude apple in the bunch, right?
The gig economy. The gig economy is changing the game. It's not like how it was 20, 15 years ago. We have the internet now, and it's so wide open. And the reason I'm an advocate for entrepreneurship is because if you do it the right way, there's no limits on how much you can make. The key is you have to understand how to do it so that you're not working so hard for very little outcome, or very little income for that matter. But the gig economy is booming. If you are a gig person, let me know how it's going for you, because that's very interesting to know. But let's continue.
Or is this about workers in the gig economy struggling with low pay from these companies and trying to figure it out, piece it together with tips? Talk us through some of this and where this DoorDash driver is now.
Hallie, you're absolutely right in terms of there being at least two sides to this tipping coin. Let's start on the consumer side, right? There's a bit of tipping fatigue happening right now. You've been there, I've been there. Someone hands you.
Are you tired of tipping? Just let me know. Now, if you're tipping so much, that must mean you're going out so much. It must mean you're living a really busy life of going out. If you got to tip that much, definitely tip, but if you're tipping so much, then you must be eating out so much. And that's one way to save money. It's one way to make sure you're not eating up your finances one thing I like to preach is living below your means. When you live below your means, you can get to a more comfortable place where you're not worried about much debt and not having enough to pay for this or pay for that. Think about it. Live below your means so that you can keep your money and do the things that you want to do, but the things that you want to do that won't put you in the negative.
Donut, and they turn the little screen around and suddenly it's, do you want to tip 15, 20, 25%? There are all these people in the line behind you. You feel almost like you got to tip something. It's a tough time out there. But on the other side, take a look at what DoorDashers actually make. There's really an argument that if you pay people a living wage, they're not going to be so aggro. DoorDashers make anywhere between $2 and $10 per delivery based on time and distance. Now, I don't know exactly where in Texas this woman lives, but is there an argument?
Wow, $2 to $10 per order. You would have to do a whole lot of orders just to make a decent income. That's a whole lot of orders. I wonder how competitive it is. Is DoorDash really saturated? I want to know that. Let me know if is DoorDash saturated. If it's not, then you can probably make a lot of money doing it. But let me know if DoorDash or Uber Eats, all these places is saturated in your area.
To be made. Maybe you have a super long drive or you live way out somewhere in the boonies and maybe $5 on a $20 pizza isn't generous enough. But the bottom line is it's never an excuse for dropping the F-bomb and behaving in that manner. And that is why DoorDash ended its relationship with that driver.
It's this whole question, though, of like, when should you press the tip for the donut person at the counter, right? Like, in other words, like, what do people tip? I mean, I see it, I think you see it and you read about it in like the restaurant world too, right? Like it used to be kind of 18% was like a good tip, 18 to 20%. Now it's like 25 to 30%. All of it like adds to the bill, but also restaurant workers deserve it. Delivery workers, the argument goes, deserve it, right? Like, who sets the standard? It's just us.
The etiquette experts would say always tip as much as you can, and particularly for services that require actual labor, right? So the good news is most Americans are aware of that. Take a look at the list of places that Americans say they almost always tip. First, it starts with actual restaurant servers. 77% of Americans say they tip their servers. Hairdressers and barbers, come on, if you're not going to tip your hairdresser, I mean, that person's working on your moneymaker. That's important. 65% of people tip there. Bartenders, 65%. Delivery drivers, 61%.
So it's good etiquette to tip. Now, the question is, are they being outrageous with tipping? Are they nickel and diming people with the tipping? There is such thing as abuse of this. So I believe that's the issue that people have, not necessarily the act of tipping itself, but the abuse of getting people to tip more than normal. So let me know your thoughts. Make sure you like this video, share this video, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless you.